Hello, and welcome to the Astrology for Friday, July 7th, 2023. Friday is Venus Day. So we need to keep an eye on where Venus is. Venus is in Leo, in close conjunction with Black Moon Lilith, where we need empowerment at 20 degrees. Venus, what we love and value, at 24 degrees. Mars at 28 degrees, and Pallas Athena, our creative intelligence, at 28 degrees. 28 degrees is exactly the location of Regulus, the heart of the Leo constellation. There are 4 placements in Leo, all answering to the Sun, which as of today, July 7th, is 15 degrees of Cancer, halfway into Cancer season, with Mercury at 22 degrees of Cancer, both of which answering to the Moon. Back to Venus. We have a Venus retrograde on the horizon at 28 degrees of Venus on the first day of Leo season, with the Sun in rulership answering to Leo. We also have the South Node entering Libra, which reports to Venus under the next new moon for the next year and a half journey from 7/17 until January 2025. Back over to the moon. The moon is now in Pisces as of July 6th. It's in its waning gibbous moon phase, which is the phase between the full moon as it diminishes, the phase right after the full moon as it diminishes from 100% to 50% illumination. Then we'll move from 50% to 0% under the new moon. The moon in Pisces is all about creativity, imagination, dreams, intuition, and spirituality. Make sure you make time to rest and recover this weekend. We have several aspects involved that we'll get back into towards the end of the video. Friday is also a day to honor Neptune, since Neptune is the highest evolution of Venus. This moon in Pisces with Saturn and Neptune also in Pisces, all reporting to a Neptune strong and in rulership, now retrograde, 27 degrees of Pisces. Back over to Venus and what Venus rules. Venus rules the signs of Taurus and Libra, both of which are focused on peace and harmony, just in different ways. In Taurus, we have our North Node of Fate and Destiny at 0 degrees for the final 10 days, aligned with Jupiter, luck, and expansion at 10 degrees, and Uranus also there at 21 degrees, a degree of health and healing. In Libra, we have Ceres, our asteroid of nurturing, but in just 10 days, we'll have the South Node, 29 degrees of Libra, which will be answering to a Venus in retrograde. This is involved in what's called a grand cardinal cross. We have the Sun and Moon in Cancer under the next new moon on 7/17, opposite Pluto, 29 degrees, retrograde in Capricorn, with the North and South Node forming an exact square at 29 degrees of Libra and Aries. More on that to come. Now for the numerology. It's a 7-month, a 7-day, and 2023 adds up to 7 for a 7-year. 7 is associated with Libra and Venus and has to do with one-to-one interpersonal and interpersonal relationships, especially contractual ones and business partnerships. This adds up to 3, which carries the energy of Mercury and Gemini. It's Empress energy. It attracts, it doesn't chase. Now for those aspects I promised. We have the Sun, our soul's core expression, in family-oriented homebody Cancer, sensitive and sentimental, forming a trine, a harmonious in the same element as our moon, our emotional and comfort-seeking nature, which the Sun in Cancer answers to. In Pisces, the moon will kiss Saturn while it's in the early degrees of Pisces, and also Neptune when it's in the later degrees of Pisces, the planet it's answering to when it's in Pisces. This will put the moon in a sextile, 60-degree angle, working with Jupiter and the North Node fused in Taurus. Something fated and karmic, expansive, coming to our emotional awareness. We also have Mercury, which is now 22 degrees of Cancer, also answering to the moon, still aligned with the Sun, in sextile to Uranus, the highest evolution of Mercury, at 21 degrees of Taurus. The two of them are working together. We've been benefiting from this energy since the two aligned in Taurus earlier this year. This is while both Uranus and Mercury are in a square, so putting pressure on in a challenging position to Chiron and or Venus. So Chiron is working, Chiron at 19 degrees of Aries is trine Black Moon Lilith 20 degrees of Leo in the same element, right? So they're working harmoniously together with Black Moon Lilith and Venus, Mars, and Pallas Athena all fused together in Leo. And finally, we have Pluto retrograde at 29 degrees of Capricorn that has just been waiting to blow. Sextile Neptune, also retrograde 27 degrees, so ruling the seas. Pluto ruling our personal transformation. So the two of them working together, perhaps bringing some flooding. It's square to the north node of fate and destiny, fused with Jupiter in Taurus. So we might have some bad weather delivering floods. This is also square the south node. And this is coming into an exact square, like we said, with that grand cardinal cross as the north and south node leave Taurus and Scorpio respectively, entering 29 degrees of Aries and 29 degrees of Libra for our next collective focus, the next